Australia government on Wednesday filed 59 charges against the only surviving suspect, Naveed Akram, who is one of the suspected persons allegedly responsible for the mass shooting at Bondi Beach in the city of Sydney targeting Jewish people on the Jews' first day to mark this year's Hanukkah festival, which led to the killing of 16 persons, including a married couple who was said initially tried to disarm one of the attackers before the husband and wife were killed, children aged 10 and above, and the suspect father and co-perpetrator, Sajid Akram, who was killed on the spot by the police, and 41 others including police officers and the bystander, Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who disarmed the 50-year-old one of the gunmen. Some of the 20 of the injured persons are still in critical condition in the hospital based on statement issued on Wednesday by local authority in Sydney. This, according to the New South Wales Police Force in a statement published on its website on Wednesday. The suspect was brought before the court, following extensive inquiries under Operation Arcs. Today, Wednesday the 17th of December, New South Wales Joint Counter-Terrorism Team, JCTT investigators attended a hospital where they charged a 24-year-old Bondi man with 59 offences, including commit terrorist act, 15 counts of murder, 40 counts of cause wounding, grievous bodily harm to person with intent to murder, discharge firearm, intent cause grievous bodily harm, cause public display of prohibited terrorist organization symbol, place explosive in near building with intent cause harm. And the court adjourned the case to April 2026 after the suspect made first appearance from his hospital bed before the Bail Division Local Court 7 via audio-visual link, AVL. The suspect was critically injured during the incident on Sunday, and had his first hearing from his hospital bedside, the local New South Wales court said. Earlier on Wednesday, New South Wales Police Commissioner Mal Lanyon said they were waiting for medication to wear off before formally questioning Akram. For his fairness, we need him to understand what is exactly happening, Lanyon said. Police have designated the attack a terrorist incident, with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese saying it appears to have been motivated by Islamic State group ideology. Police said, homemade Islamic State group flags and improvised explosive devices, IEDs, have been found in the vehicle used by the gunman. According to the New South Wales Police Force, the New South Wales Joint Counter-Terrorism Team has formally charged a 24-year-old man alleged to be one of 2 gunmen responsible for the Bondi Beach mass shooting that claimed the lives of 15 people. About 6:40 p.m. on Sunday the 14th of December 2025, emergency services were called to Bondi Beach following reports of a public place shooting. Officers attached to Eastern Suburbs Police Area Command, surrounding commands, and specialist police responded and located 2 men using long arms to fire into crowds of people. Multiple officers exchanged fire with the gunman, and 2 officers, a constable and probationary constable, suffered gunshot wounds. During the incident, one gunman, a 50 Israeli government has blamed the Prime Minister of Australia, Anthony Albanese, over the father and son terrorist act of mass shooting in Bondi Beach on Sunday evening around 6:47 p.m. in accordance with Australia local time, leading to the killing of 16 persons, including one of the suspected terrorists and a 10-year-old girl, and 42 others sustained injuries, according to the Premier of New South Wales State, Christopher Minns, when members of the Jewish community in the Sydney City of Australia came out in large numbers on day 1 to celebrate this year's Hanukkah festival. This, the Israeli government, through the video statements made by the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, during government meeting in Dimona and when he lit the first Hanukkah candle in Israel later on Sunday, said, there may be more terrorist attacks on the Jewish people because the Australia government is weak. We know there will be additional attacks. The safest place for the Jewish people in the world is where the government, the army, and the security forces will defend them, saying, on August 17, 2025, he wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of Australia wherein he said, your call for a Palestinian state pours fuel on the anti-Semitic fire. It rewards Hamas terrorists. It emboldens those who menace Australian Jews and encourages the Jew hatred now stalking your streets. Anti-Semitism is a cancer. It spreads when leaders stay silent. It retreats when leaders act. I call upon you to replace weakness with action, appeasement with resolve. Instead, Prime Minister, you replaced weakness with weakness and appeasement with more appeasement. Your government did nothing to stop the spread of anti-Semitism in Australia. You did nothing to curb the cancer cells that were growing inside your country. You took no action. You let the disease spread, and the result is the horrific attacks on Jews we saw today. In a tweet posted through his personal verified X social media account few hours ago, Australia Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said, "In moments like this, we must come together. Australia stands united against hatred and terror." Speaking during the news conference on Sunday, Australia's Home Minister, Tony Burke, gave more details about the gunmen, who happened to be father and son, Sajid Akram and Naveed Akram. He says the father arrived in Australia in 1998 on a student visa. The son, who we know is Naveed Akram, is an Australian-born citizen. The father, a 50-year-old, was killed at the scene, taking the total number of dead to 16, while his 24-year-old son is in a critical condition in hospital. Local media reported that both men pledged allegiance to the Islamic State group, adding that Naveed first came to authorities' attention in October 2019, but the Australian Prime Minister said an assessment was made that there was no indication of any ongoing threat or threat of him engaging in violence. His father arrived in Australia on a student visa in 1998, which was transferred in 2001 to a partner visa and later resident return visas. Meanwhile, the man who tackled one of the gunmen to the floor and saved people from getting shot at Bondi Beach in Australia was identified as Ahmed Al-Ahmed. Not less than 11 persons, said to be mostly from the Jewish community and police officers, were shot dead by terrorists on Sunday at Bondi Beach in the Sydney city of Australia as thousands came out to mark this year's Hanukkah or Hanukkah festival, a festival that is known as the Jewish Festival of Lights, usually an 8-day winter celebration marking event of the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem and a miraculous long-lasting oil supply, observed by lighting candles on a menorah, Chanukya, and reciting special prayers, and eating oily foods like latkes and sufganiyat, which symbolizes Jewish resilience and freedom. The terrorists attacked the Jewish community on the first day of the festival after Israel government had on Saturday authorized the killing of a senior Hamas commander, Raad Saad, who Israel, through a statement issued by the Office of the Prime Minister of Israel, stated that, in recent days, Raad Saad had been engaged in rehabilitating the terrorist organization, planning and carrying out attacks against Israel and rebuilding an attack force, in blatant violation of the ceasefire rules and Hamas's commitments to adhere to the US President Donald Trump's plan, stating, instead of promoting demilitarization, he was engaged in rearming for acts of terrorism. Although Israel government has not issued any statement since the Sunday attacks on Jewish community in Sydney as at the time of filing in this news report on Sunday, but Hamas, in a news report published by Al Jazeera, confirmed that Saad had since been killed by Israeli soldiers in the Gaza city of Palestine. One of the video footages of the Sunday attack on the Jewish community in Sydney showed a moment an apparent very brave man disarmed one of the gunmen during the mass shooting, overpowered the suspected terrorist, collected the gun and turned the gun against the suspected terrorist without shooting him, and the suspect gets away, then joins another suspected terrorist shooter who continues firing from a bridge. New South Wales Police declared the shooting as an act of terrorism, and the New South Wales Police Commissioner, Mal Lanyon, said an improvised explosive device was found in a car at the Bondi Beach, linked to the deceased perpetrator. The police commissioner added that a rescue and bomb disposal unit has been deployed to the scene. Local media reported that an emergency services transported 8 injured people to hospital after providing urgent treatment on site, and 11 persons have been confirmed dead by the local authority. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese called the scenes shocking and distressing, and said police and medical teams are continuing efforts to protect lives as the investigation develops. The police confirmed that there are 2 known suspects. One is dead while the other is in a life-threatening condition in hospital. Officers are currently investigating whether there was a third perpetrator involved in the attack. An improvised explosive device was found in a car at Bondi, which was linked to the deceased perpetrator. We'll bring you the latest updates as we get them. The man who was seen in footage wresting a firearm from one of the shooters at Bondi Beach has been praised as a genuine hero by the New South Wales State Premier, Christopher John Minns. The State Premier, Christopher Minns, said at a press conference on Sunday that founder of Sowore Reporters News Media, Omiyele Sowore, on Saturday apparently refused to back down on allegations against the founder and the general overseer of a mega fire ministry, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, over reported cases of alleged paying people to fake miracles and give a chemical substance or injection to Apostle O.C. Benjamin of Fulfiller's House Church to perfect an alleged fake miracle of raising a dead man back to life. An allegation a man simply identified as Apostle Wisdom made while speaking during an interview with Truth Media earlier in the year, which, according to Omiyele Sowore, for Apostle Johnson Suleiman to remove the names of the media that conducted the podcast interview and the person that made the statement in the 1 billion naira's lawsuit filed against him and Sowore Reporters News Media, shows Apostle Johnson Suleiman knows the speaker. Apostle Wisdom was probably saying the truth. This, Omiyele Sowore stated in reaction to the statement earlier made by Apostle Johnson Suleiman on his personal social media accounts on Saturday, accusing the founder of Sowore Reporters, Omiyele Sowore, of always trying to play the victim's role that wants to be persecuted for fighting for Nigeria, whenever a case is filed against him in the court of law for passing across false and misleading information to defame someone's character, saying that forgiveness is predicated on the admission of guilt and one cannot forgive someone who has neither acknowledged wrongdoing nor shown remorse. In the podcast interview, Apostle Wisdom alleged that Apostle Benjamin, in conspiracy with some members of his church, hired a man from Enugu State and numbers of other persons who acted as neighbors and family members that brought the hired and paid man to the church program held in Bondi State as a dead man. According to the Apostle Wisdom, the hired man who pretended to be dead was put inside a coffin and transported from Enugu to Bondi State with an ambulance. He said the coffin was not covered until the man was brought closer to the church to avoid him being killed out of suffocation. Apostle Wisdom said the initial plan was to inject the hired and paid man with an injection Apostle Johnson Suleiman allegedly gave to Apostle Benjamin. Apostle Wisdom added that Apostle Benjamin refused to use the injection because he was afraid that the chemical substance may kill the hired and paid man. Hence, they decided to open the coffin until the time for the fake and staged miracle was to be conducted. To buttress his facts, Apostle Wisdom said the man that was brought as if he was dead to the church program was sweating because the few minutes the man was covered inside the coffin, he suffered some level of heat that made his body start sweating. Sowore, in numbers of statements between Friday and Saturday, said, "For your information, Apostle Johnson Suleiman has sued me regarding the controversy surrounding his alleged support for individuals faking miracles during an interview conducted by Truth. This lawsuit marks the second occasion Apostle Johnson Suleiman has taken legal action against me over contentious decisions made during his ministry, following a previous lawsuit concerning Stephanie Otobo that he later amended and removed Otobo. The case has been ongoing for approximately 8 years, and the most straightforward aspect of apparent unsafe nature of Nigeria was recorded again on Sunday in the southeast geopolitical zone of the troubled West Africa country after suspected terrorists launched multiple attacks in Anambra state, killing several numbers of persons after the suspected terrorists attacked a church at Lilu community within Ihiala local government area in the morning and burned part of the St. Andrew's Anglican Church, where the wife of the pastor was brutally murdered at the spot, and in the evening, the suspected terrorists took the hit to Anambra market in Nawfia community and shot sporadically into the Afore market in the Njikoko local government area, causing several casualties, with video evidence from residents indicating that 4 of the bodies died on the spot and were in their pool of blood and large numbers of others rushed to the hospital. This the Nigeria police force has confirmed the suspected terrorists' attack on Anglican Church in Lilu but yet to issue statement as at the time of filing in this report on Monday morning over the attack on Market in Nawfia. According to residents, yet to be ascertained total numbers of persons were killed when some unknown armed men launched an attack near the Sowore Market Junction in Nawfia community, in Jikoko local government area of Anambra state on Sunday. At St. Andrew's Church in Lilu, the venerable wife was shot and the target of the attack. The pastor escaped into hiding and was later kept at a security safe place looking traumatized. The church was burnt and the priest's properties, including his car, were set ablaze. In a statement on Sunday, Chief Daniel Okoye, the President General of Nawfia Progressive Union, gave a brief account of the attack on the Anambra market, saying, "This evening, I received with deep shock the tragic news of an attack at the Sowore Market Junction in Nawfia community. The incident resulted in multiple casualties, caused by unknown assailants who carried out this senseless act of violence. I strongly condemn this heartbreaking incident and the attempt to disrupt the peace of our beloved community. I have already contacted the relevant security agencies, and investigations are underway to uncover those responsible. I appeal to all NDI Nawfia to remain calm, stay vigilant, and continue to cooperate with security operatives as they work tirelessly to restore normalcy and ensure our safety. My thoughts and prayers are with the families affected. On behalf of the Nawfia Progressive Union, I extend our deepest sympathies and assure you that we are fully committed to supporting efforts aimed at protecting lives and maintaining peace in Nawfia." Anambra State Command of the Nigeria Police Force, in a statement on Monday early morning, said, "The Commissioner of Police, Anambra State Police Command, CP Ikioye Oratugu, condemns in the strongest terms the attack in the morning of the 7th of December 2025, carried out by armed criminals which resulted in the death of one person confirmed with serious injuries inflicted on a few others, including the church building partially burnt, and other properties destroyed at a church premises in Lilu, Ihiala local government area." The CP states that this heinous and abominable act, committed against innocent worshippers, is not only an assault on the community but a grave affront to our shared values of peace, sanctity of life, and freedom of worship. The command extends its deep. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria has expressed happiness that Nigeria troops, both air and land soldiers, have successfully foiled the coup attempt in Benin Republic on Sunday, saying, "Latest report from the Benin Republic indicated that Colonel Pascal Tigri, the leader of the mutineers who seized the country's national television on Sunday, is on the run and some other members of the group have been arrested as the defense and security forces in the country thwarted the attempted putsch, and, according to the Nigeria president, Nigeria government acted on two separate requests from the government of Benin Republic, saying, President Tinubu first ordered Nigerian Air Force fighter jets to enter the country and take over the airspace to help dislodge the coup plotters from the national TV and a military camp where they had regrouped, and secondly ordered ground troops into the Benin Republic territory, which the Nigeria military troops have been confirmed to have taken positions in both air and land space in the Benin Republic, with some local residents saying a few minutes ago that the gun battle is still ongoing. Bayo Onanuga, the spokesperson to the Nigeria president, in a number of statements on Sunday said, "Coup in Benin fails. Mutineers in military uniform, who attempted to overthrow President Patrice Talon's democratic government on Sunday in the Republic of Benin, have failed. The mutineers seized the national TV after failing to enter President Talon's residence." The latest report from Cotonou said the National Guard has taken control of the situation and surrounded the television station. According to 24 Hours in Benin, discussions are underway with the mutineers, now holed up inside the station. Benin's Interior Minister, Alassane Sidou, says the country's armed forces have thwarted an attempted coup. His statement came after soldiers appeared on state television and announced the removal of President Patrice Talon, the closure of borders and suspension of political parties. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has commended the gallantry of Nigeria's military on Sunday for responding swiftly to the request by the government of Benin Republic to save its 35-year-old democracy from coup plotters who struck at dawn today. Acting on two separate requests from the government of Benin, President Tinubu first ordered Nigerian Air Force fighter jets to enter the country and take over the airspace to help dislodge the coup plotters from the national TV and a military camp where they had regrouped. The Republic of Benin, through its Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a note verbal, requested immediate Nigerian air support, in view of the urgency and seriousness of the situation and to safeguard the constitutional order, protect national institutions and ensure the security of the population. In the second request, the authorities in Benin requested the deployment of Nigerian Air Force assets within Beninois airspace for surveillance and rapid intervention operations under Benin-led coordination. The Benin government also requested Nigerian ground forces, strictly for missions approved by the Beninese Command Authority in support of the protection of constitutional institutions and the containment of armed groups. Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, said all the requests have been fulfilled, with Nigeria
bringing you the news in a more digital way.